weight gain after menopause was a real thing, or not after, but during. At the time, I was exercising pretty regularly, was, eating my salads and the good proteins and all that. But I still managed to gain weight, and I didn't really understand what was going on. That's when I started looking into detoxing and kind of doing things like the infrared sauna. It's a dry sauna. I bought one. I have one in my house that I use regularly, because the science that I found is that they've done tests where they check the blood, your urine, and sweat. And they looked into what actually was coming out of these things, such as plastics, microplastics. It's a thing. And just a little side note, if you're drinking from a plastic water bottle pretty regularly, or actually I would like to say at all, please stop. The microplastics in the water go into your body. And unfortunately, your body doesn't know what to do with it. It's a foreign substance, so it will go right to your fat cells and stay there until you lose weight or do some type of a detox. So getting back to the blood and urine, they didn't see those type of things coming out, as well as like phthalates and other things. So sweat, they found that's where it came out. So sweating, so important. And having Hashimoto's at the time, I didn't sweat. Like, we would have some fierce workouts and my husband was completely drenched and disgusting. Me, maybe a little bit of sweat came down. That was it. And you know how frustrating it is as a woman working out beside my husband, a man, and seeing his muscles develop and all that. And I'm like, basically he was looking at me and judging me and saying, you're not trying hard enough. And it's like, dude, I am trying. I can't lift the weight anymore. I'm done. So very interesting dynamics with the whole male, female energies and that dance. So what I learned is you really need to, we're a very complex system, and one size doesn't fit all. What works for me might not work for you. Do your own experiments on yourself, because in science, they have sample size, and usually N is the sample size. So N equals, and then could be 1,000, could be 1,000,000, depending on the study. Well, unfortunately, a lot of these medical science papers that are coming out, the N size is 10 or maybe 20. And that's a problem, because they want to make a one size fits all, and that doesn't work. So when you start experimenting on yourself and seeing what works for you, that's when things change. So when I started detoxing and doing the dry sauna, that's when I started actually starting to sweat. And from that moment on, like, things totally started to change. So when you do a detox, it could be also, for example, I've experimented on a 3-day apple diet where it's just organic apples for 3 days, and that's the only thing I ate. Well, what I realized is that the astringent properties in the skin of the apple actually kind of really go into your intestinal wall and kind of scrapes out any, basically it's cleans, because it's an astringent property. So it's cleaning your intestinal tract from your small intestine all the way out to your colon. So, and you'd be surprised what comes out on the other end. And I know people don't like talking about their poop. It's like a taboo subject, but it's so important to look to see what's coming out on the other end, because that's also telling you, your body's telling you, hey, this is healthy, this is not healthy. So detoxing the body, very important. And just know, again, a little side note, when you're detoxing and these things are coming out of your fat cells, it's doing havoc in your body. You might lose it in your head, or you might start thinking differently, or things aren't feeling normal. That's called a detoxing effect. And it's perfectly normal as long as you know that it's happening. So real important to do it like in a group setting, because that way you can all relate and talk to each other, and what might not be happening for you at that time might be happening from somebody else like that has done it in a while. So you're all learning together as a group. That's why I developed this Finding Coherence Academy, so that way you have a one place that you can go to that's safe, that is enlightening, and you can really be your true authentic self, because that's another issue. We're not. We don't, well, I am now. I can say that maybe 5 years ago, I was not my true self. Detoxing, very important to do, because we're not also supposed to be eating all the time. You know, I always go back to ancient times, like what did the cave people do, or what did the Babylonians do? Because they didn't have refrigerators. They ate so differently than we eat now, and that's real important. But that's another topic for another time. Let's see. When you have an eating window that's less than 8 hours, your body goes through different processes. Like there is a cell die-off that happens in the body, especially at night. When you're at night and you're sleeping, your brain matter actually goes through a detox system, and they just started researching it maybe about 5-10 years ago. So it's real important to understand how your body's operating so you can actually help it by doing certain things. So I won't go into sleep because that's another topic we'll talk about, but just having your sense of awareness of what's happening basically calms you down a little bit, so you can not be so in that sympathetic state, you know, fight, flight, or freeze. You're kind of more relaxed and kind of having more awareness, not only of yourself, but of the situation. So watching your eating window. So maybe in the next couple days, you can actually write down the last time you stopped eating, and then the first thing you start eating in the morning, and see if it's a 12-hour window, because it should not be anything less than a 12-hour window. You're not giving your body an opportunity to do the things, the processes it needs to do to clear out, to start fresh the next day. So that's real important. Let's see my notes here. Yeah, and it's not so much avoid for the next 6 months. Things like cabbage, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, broccoli. You know, who would think that those were things that my body didn't really care for and was inflammatory? So you need to just be aware of what's happening inside your body, and what works for me might not work for you. So I'm going to avoid these, the cabbage or broccoli, because I used to eat them in the fall, because I'm more of a seasonal type of eating person, which is more of an Ayurvedic style of eating, which to me is suits my body perfectly. So and then, you know, you think you're eating salads and that's all good, but you might have high oxalates in your body. So spinach and kale are not going to be good for your body. They will make an inflammatory system start in the body. So just be aware of that. And of course, eating things that are basically from the ground to your mouth. So when I go grocery shopping, I go around the perimeter, the produce, the meats, everything organic pretty much is what I eat now. Not to be completely no pesticides, because we know there's pesticides in everything. So eating organic, yes, you're paying a little bit more money for less pesticides, but you got to do something nowadays. So that's my preference, is to pay a little bit more money for the organics. And no, it's not a fad. The food tastes different. And just in a nutritional standpoint, the nutrition of an apple 50 years ago or 100 years ago, completely different than it is nowadays. So, of course, taking supplements is important, but you got to be careful what kind of supplements you're eating, because if you're having a supplement and you're seeing your urine more like a bright yellow color, you're not absorbing any of those ingredients of the supplements. It's coming right out of you. So kind of be aware about that, because that right there can help your expenses if you're not buying all these supplements and staying to organic foods that are basically from the ground to your mouth. Produce, fresh vegetables and apples, or fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts also have very high pranic energy, because it's the source from the earth coming into your mouth. Stay away from anything from a plastic bag, box, packaged, because if you look at the ingredients and there's more than 5 ingredients, you're eating a bunch of preservatives. And I actually know a friend of a friend who's a funeral director, and when they're embalming the bodies, they're noticing that the bodies are actually preserving themselves. And the bodies can sit for a couple days now. And that to me was like very eye-opening. I thought that something was wrong with that, and now I realized, that's why they can have a package of Twinkies and put it on a shelf, and 30 years later, it's still a Twinkie and it's still edible. Well, why is that?